DC Films The Suicide or The Suicide Squad 2. So as we know, James Gunn has recently finished principal photography for The Suicide Squad. Obviously, there will be reshoots at some point. So they've recently just finished wrapping up production in Panama, which is South America, I believe, for the up-and-coming Suicide Squad movie, which is coming out next year, which is going to be freaking awesome. Now, what is more interesting is we have Wonder Woman 1984 coming out in the next few months in the summer. I don't know specifically which month. It's coming out very soon, but no one's talking about it. People seem to only care about the Batman. Now, what is interesting is James Gunn is very interactive with fans, with people being interested about his movie. He even replies back to a lot of people. So as we know, this movie has a very big cast. John Cena is in this movie. No one seems to know who he is. Pete Davidson's in it. Taika Waititi's in it. So many people. Idris Elba. There's over 16 characters. But what is interesting is James Gunn seems to be giving out teasers and hints that people don't know what's going on. So he was tagged in a post from Steve AGE, said, just wrapped the Suicide Squad here in Panama. What a fun 6 months it's been. Thanks at James Gunn. Then James Gunn officially responds saying, you're welcome. And you're incredible in this movie, even though you might not quite be who people think you are. Crying face, which is hilarious. So let's go over some leaked information. So what is good, YouTube? Warstu here. If you are new to this channel, make sure to subscribe to never miss any of the pop culture based content. So over the last couple of weeks or so, we've been getting leaked images, people taking images on set, just like they are in Glasgow, Scotland, of the new Batman bike, of the Batman suit, etc. So a very interesting image has appeared online. None of this has been confirmed or verified. Yes, we know Margot Robbie is playing Harley Quinzel in the Suicide Squad movie, as she was one of the pinnacle characters in the first movie. And she is donning a red dress-esque kind of outfit, which looks more inclined and more in line with the variation that we got in the first Suicide Squad movie. Then we have a bunch of other characters who no one knows specifically who they are, because this is just rumored. So we have Ratcatcher on the left of this picture. Then we have Idris Elba in the middle of this picture, who a lot of people seem to think he's playing the Vigilante. If you've watched Arrow, you should know who Vigilante is. Vigilante is a pretty interesting character. Then we have what looks like Polka Dot Man on the right-hand side, played by David. He was a pinnacle part of Supergirl. Then we have someone stood behind the Vigilante, who everyone seems to think is King Shark. Now, it's not clear who's specifically in this image, but it could be King Shark. It's a pretty weird suit. And then we've had some inklings that it could be Bane. Bane was last seen, and he was last played by Tom Hardy. Now, the reason I don't seem to think this is Bane, or I don't seem to think it is Bane, because the guy's not jacked. Now, if you were playing Bane, you specifically have to be, well, not, I don't have to be jacked, but Bane is generally jacked. But there is some precedence that Bane could be appearing in this movie, because they're at a certain prison where Bane hails from. The prison that Bane hails from is going to appear in this movie, and there is set photos to back this up. So we don't know if this is Bane, or we don't know if this is King Shark, but seeing as in this specific picture, there is some motion capture, CGI stuff going around the face. There's no mask over him. I don't specifically seem to think that this is, in this case, going to be Bane, although Bane could be in this movie. No one really knows what's going on with this movie, and it's interesting that James Gunn himself does actually reply to a lot of fans. So Panama City has been the host of the Suicide Squad shoot. Now, no one seems to know who John Cena is playing, which is interesting. I'm really looking forward to figuring out and finding out who John Cena specifically will be in this movie. But we're in the era of DC Universe again. Why? Because we have the Batman movie coming out next year. We have the Suicide Squad movie also coming out next year, which is going to be freaking awesome. So I can't wait for that. There seems to be a lot of hype online, like I said, for the Batman Robin Pattinson movie over Wonder Woman 2 Gal Gadot's movie that actually comes out this year. But the internet doesn't seem to care for anyone unless it's the Batman movie, which is interesting because it's not specifically just in DC films. This is happening in Marvel. Now, in Marvel this year, we have Black Widow coming out, and we have the Eternals coming out later in this year in November. But people seem to care about movies that aren't even shooting, like Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, Captain Marvel 2, Miss Marvel TV show. People don't seem to care about the actual up-and-coming projects that are shooting at the moment for the Marvel Universe. They seem to care more about what's coming on down the road, which is weird. It's really interesting that we've got like a DC movie coming out very soon being Wonder Woman, but no one really cares for this until we get really close to it. We've just had Birds of Prey or the Harlequin movie coming out. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens with this Suicide Squad Volume movie, because no one seems to know anything, really. I mean, when I was doing research for this video, no one really knows anything. I mean, there is an alleged plot leak, which we'll briefly go over, but there's no specific precedents to suggest anything's real. So in this alleged plot leak, careful words like ruin your life, it states the following. Amanda Waller sends a Suicide Squad to find an alien monster locked in a prison that was being used in World War II by the Nazis. The monster is now being used by two evil dictators, the mayor and the general. So we do know there is a lot of prison action in this movie, as John Cena is seen on set multiple times in a prison orange jumpsuit. And also there are the rumors flying around that Idris Elba is going to be playing Martian Manhunter. I know that's not going to happen because there's no CGI spots anywhere in one of them. His suit looks more like not Deathstroke. I mean, Deathstroke's a name that people were throwing around. I think the Vigilante looks the most realistic, seeing as the character was well perceived and well received on the Arrow universe. Generally, that is a good prerequisite. A lot of people seem to think he was going to be Deadshot, but I don't think that's going to be the case, because later down the road, when DC gets bigger, also Bronze Tiger, who's also in the Arrow universe, I think later down the road they do want to bring Will Smith back, but it was a conflict of time. He was already working on the project. So there is a much deeper plot leak, but I don't know if it's specifically true. But you know, we love to go over these just in case we are. It's just like a fan theory thing, but they're labeling it like it's actually real. So this one is in more depth, but it is kind of saying the same thing. So essentially, it says the Suicide Squad are sent by Amanda Waller to investigate the mayor as an elusive crime mastermind, but they're ambushed and killed one by one. Now, this is interesting because if you do go through James Gunn's verified Twitter account, he does allude to a lot of people dying in this movie. He was asked a question, wait, does this mean some cast members don't make it to the end? And he replied with, well, a lot of the cast don't make it to the end. This is the Suicide Squad, but we don't shoot in order. The ending has already been shot, so you'll have to wait to see who survives. Don't get too attached. And it's interesting, like I said, there's 24 cast members on this that I believe have big roles. So I believe a lot of them won't make it to end. So this does coincide with that. And then it says 5 months later, Mongol's in this. Interesting. If it's real, guys. Let's just theorize that it is real. Resurfaces in Panama. Okay, we know they're shooting in Panama, but this was posted 23 days ago, so whoever wrote this, if it was fake, would already know this. Assisting in a group led by General, and Waller reassembles a new team to investigate, formed by Harley Quinn, Ratcatcher, Peacemaker, who's allegedly your boy John Cena, Polka Dot, which is Dave, we know that, and King Shark, maybe. Waller approaches Flag, old army buddy, Adrian Chase, aka the Vigilante, and apparently that is Idris Elba to lead the team in exchange for exonerating for his crimes and a chance to reconnect with his daughter. Okay, so far, I mean, it does sound realistic. They're not going to have 20 plus cast members, and I believe a version of Suicide Squad will die. So I believe that part of it. The team ultimately learns the mayor is the immortal warlord Vandal Savage, who actually is rumored to be in this movie. So yeah, a lot of this could be based on prerequisite of leaks. Who is running a metahuman trafficking operation alongside his enforcer, Queen Bee. Thinker, Blackguard, Multiplex, and Boomerang, who double-cross the team. They brainwash Mongol into becoming one of their products and discard the others for being useless. The new Suicide Squad team must learn how to work as a team to stop Savage before he raids Bella and recruits the dangerous metahumans locked up there for their ever-growing army. And that is pretty much all it says. Then it ends with Boomerang triple crosses Savage to get back into Waller's good grace. In the end, Polka Dot Man and Peacemaker die, except many more cameos of the BCD DC Comics supervillain. So is this true? I don't really know, guys. It might be, might not be, but it's an interesting fan theory if it's real. I mean, a lot of the comments on here don't believe it, but then a lot of it does line up. Like I said, guys, I'm not a dictator. I'm not here to tell you if it's real, if it's fake. Just let me know down below, guys. I wanted to talk about Suicide Squad 2 because they've wrapped shooting and no one's really talking about it, so I thought I'd put a video out there today. So like always, guys, please like, subscribe, and comment. I'll catch you in another video very soon. Catch you later.